From here, the crew will have to remove a number of keep alive thermal connectors, and we'll start to work removing thermal blankets which cover the 7 joints on each of the arms. Access to these thermal covers is much easier while the arms are stowed in the pallet. It gets much more complex once it's installed, so we're going to try to utilize our time as best possible to get these off at this point. There's some clamps which have to be removed to free the arms, and again, the wrists and shoulders each have thermal keep alive umbilical connectors as well. Once those are released, Rick Linehan is going to be setting up an APFR foot restraint into the space station arm where he'll ingress, and they will get to work on removing the first arm out of the pallet. In order to install the arms onto the body of the SPDM, the body has to be rotated up about 60 degrees. That can't happen with the arms in their launch position because there's a clearance interference issue. So the crew removes them and positions them onto a temporary stowage bracket on the Spacelab pallet as shown here. Mike Foreman will assist with the securing of the fasteners which connect the arm to the pallet. At this point, Rick Linehan will move over and release 4 out of the 5 body restraint bolts which secure the body of the SPDM to the pallet, leaving 1 in place. And then they'll work together to begin removal of the second arm. The technique for removal of the second arm is slightly different in how we do it. Rather than stowing the arm on a temporary stowage bracket, we're going to put Mike Foreman in a foot restraint on the sill of the pallet, and Rick Linehan will remove the arm from its launch position, install some handling aids, and then hand it to Mike Foreman where he will hold that arm during the pivoting of the SPDM body. As I mentioned earlier, that arm OTCM combination weighs about 775 pounds, so there's definitely some skill and technique we've had to develop to be able to handle those. Here you can see Rick has released the last body restraint bolt and is pivoting the SPDM body up to about 60 degrees. This puts the shoulder in a good position for Mike to position the first arm for installation onto the body. As he guides that into position, Rick Linehan will then come down and start working, installing the mechanical fasteners with assistance, again, by Mike Foreman. Once that first arm is installed, the crew will start working on installation of the second arm. To this, again, they remove that arm from its stowage bracket and move to install it onto the shoulder. We have a little video of some 1G training the crew has done here at JSC. This shows Rick Linehan using a zero-gravity simulator. This basically suspends the arm and OTCM from a harness and allows the crew to feel what the mass handling will be like during the precise installation guidance into the stowage and connection interfaces, with Mike Foreman guiding it into its clevis bracket. At this point, with both arms connected, the crew is going to go spend some time removing any remaining thermal covers which we didn't have access to before, and preparing the SPDM for final assembly. There's also some launch restraints which we're going to start to secure at the end of this EVA to prepare the Spacelab pallet for its landing configuration. That wraps up EVA 2. It's one of our longest EVAs, coming in about 7 hours. So the crew will be ready for a good night's sleep after that EVA.